We're going to breathe in through our nose and blow it out through our mouth. Hey, Sherry. We're going to take a nice deep breath in and let it go. Take another deep breath in. Try it one more time. A deep breath in. So with your eyes closed, we're going to start to move ourselves around in a great big circle. We're going to change direction of the circles whenever it feels comfortable to us. Please don't count your circles. Just unwind. Unwind from your to-do list for the week ahead of you. Unwind from all your chores. Let them all go. Check in with how your hips and your back are feeling. Breathe through your nose if you can, as long as you're not congested. And just a few more times, keeping in mind for the duration of the class, there's no forcing. There's no judgments. There's only observations of your own breath and body. Welcome, Becky. I'm glad you could make it with us. So just a few more times around. And when you're ready, we're going to lean ourselves slightly in front of the hips and sway gently from side to side in the rhythm of the elephant. See if you can breathe deeply to one side, exhaling out to the other side, back and forth. Let your lower back soften. Let each breath be full and deep. Maybe pausing at the very top of the breath. Maybe pausing at the bottom of the breath. Now, when you're ready, just choose a side. Put your hands on each side of one of your legs. Take a deep breath, and on your own exhale, gently bow just to where it feels comfortable. As you let your head hang, let your shoulders relax. Let your neck be soft, let it release. Take a deep breath in, let it out with a great big sigh. Shake your head a little yes, a little no. With an inhale, rise back up, hands on both of your legs, exhale here. Now with a deep breath in, let it out with a great big sigh again. Turn to the other side, breathe in, and bow just to where it feels comfortable. As you press that opposite hip down, shoulders relax. Let your head hang down so the neck can be soft. Let your neck release. Take a deep cleansing breath in. Let it go with a big sound. Shake your head a little yes, a little no. With an inhale, rise back up. Place your hands on both of your legs. Exhale here. With a deep breath in, draw both shoulders up. Exhale, take them back and down. Try it one more time. Inhale, take your shoulders up. Exhale, take them back and down. Place the hands on the floor in front of you, and when you bow, stretch out to where it's comfortable. Let your head hang down as you're pressing both hips to the floor. Shoulders relax. Let the head, neck relax. Take a deep breath in, and again, let it out with a big sound. Please take this moment to balance your breath with your mind and the body. Now take a deep breath in. We're going to rise back up. Place the backs of your hands together and lift them to the heart. Take a deep, expansive breath. Open your arms out wide. Exhale, the hands meet right over your head. Inhale, reach your fingertips up. Exhale, take the hands down to your heart. Namaste. Release your hands. Roll your shoulders just a few times. Remember, set any way that's comfortable. Keep your shoulders down. We're going to bring our right hand behind us, left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Set up tall, squeeze your tummy. Look as far to the right side as it feels comfortable. Keep your hands where they are and slowly turn your head. Look over to the left side. Draw that right shoulder blade back, looking to the left to where it feels comfortable and breathing. Now we're going to release the pose, come back to the middle. Please roll your shoulders gently. And let's go to the other side. Left hand behind you, right hand to the thigh. Set up tall, squeeze your tummy. Look as far to the left as it feels comfortable. Breathe deep and full here. Please keep your hands where they are and slowly turn your head. Look as far to the right side as it feels comfortable. Just another breath there, kids. And then we're going to release the pose. Roll your shoulders. And let's go to the other side again. Right hand behind you, left hand to your right thigh. Set up tall. Squeeze your tummy. Look as far over to the right as it feels safe. Now we're going to keep our hands. Turn your head. Look to the left to where it feels comfortable. Your back arm, the right arm goes straight up. Spread your fingers. Fold to your your left thigh. Stretch from your right hip to your right fingertips. You're looking down at your knee or under your right arm to the palm of your hand. Some of you have your left shoulder on your thigh. Some of you are a million miles away. Doesn't matter. Anywhere where it feels good. Another breath, folks. Now turn the palm of your hand up to the ceiling. Press the air down as you come back to the center. Please roll your shoulders. And let's go to the other side. Please bring your left hand behind you, right hand to your thigh. Look over your left shoulder to where it's comfortable. Twisting to this side, you're going to keep your hands and turn your head. Look over to the right side. Now your back arm, you're going to take it straight up to the ceiling. Spread your fingers. Fold towards the right thigh. Some of you have your shoulder to the thigh. Some of you are just reaching to the sky. Look at your right knee or under your left arm to the palm of your left hand. No bent elbows, straight arms. Spread your fingers. Another breath, kids. Now turn the palm up. Press the air down as you come back to the center. Roll your shoulders. Now let's come up onto our hands and knees. So any way you'd like to do that, please come up. Now I've got a couple of new friends here today in this class. So remember, everything we do here, you can always come back to Child's. When you first start a flow class, you may want to keep coming back to Child's for the majority of the class, and each time it gets more and more. Elbows are straight. Spread your fingers. Toes are relaxed or rolled under. We always start with cat pose as we flow it into your cow pose. Please go back and forth just a few times. Feel that flow from head to tailbone. Doesn't matter if it's an inhale or exhale to either one, just move with your breath. The next time you have cat rounding, please hold your cat, pull your tummy in, shake your head a bit, and then you're going to press the hips low to the heels, reach your arms out long, elbows off the floor. Your head is hanging. Maybe it's resting on the floor. Stretch out through your arms. Now we're going to keep our hips down. We're not going to do cat-cow to the side, but we're going to look up at the hands, walk your hands over to the left side as far as they're going to go. Reach the hands out. If it feels good, put the right hand on top of the left hand and twist. Get that side stretch. Breathe into that right rib cage, the right scapula. Some folks like to twist both ways. Now, inhale, we're going to lift up and walk your way over to the opposite side. Take it back to the right side. Reach your arms out as far as they're going to go. Already get that stretch. Now, you may not want the extra part. Let the head hang if it feels good. Left hand goes on top of the right and twist the left side body inward. Breathe there. One more breath. Inhale, look up, walk your way back to the middle, come all the way up, hands and knees. We're going to roll the toes under. Right leg goes out, long. Put your right toes on the floor, press deeply through your calf muscles, your hamstrings. One more breath. Pick the leg up, take it to the left side. Press through the heel of your foot, and please look over your left shoulder at your right heel. Keep your arms straight. Now we're going to take that right leg back behind you, work your ankle, bend your right knee, point it out to the right side, and get circles in the hip and fire hydrant pose. Go one way around, go the other way. We're going to loosen that hip up. And then bring the knee down, home. Toes are rolled under. Move your hips in circles. Go one way around, kids. Go the other way. Now let's get the other side. Elbows are straight. Left leg goes out. Press back into your left leg. Feel the calf muscles in your hamstrings. Pull your tummy in. Breathe here. Don't let your head hang. Look at that spot between your thumbs. And you're lengthening out at the crown of your head. Please pick that left leg up, take it to the right side. Put the toes down onto the floor, press through the heel of your left foot. Look over your right shoulder. Breathe there. Stretch through the side body, stretch through that hip. Take the left leg back behind you, bend your knee, point your knee out to the side and get circles in your hip. Go one way. Go the other way. Then we're going to bring that knee back home. We're going to move the hips around in circles. Your toes are rolled under. Now we're going to bring our hands out long in front of us. Pinkies touch the edge of your yoga mat. Middle finger points straight ahead. Spread your fingers. Elbows are off the floor. The soft spot of your elbows is rotated under. Toes are rolled under. Your knees are bent. You tuck your chin into your chest and keeping your belly and your thighs together, you're going to come into down dog from this position. So if you need to do down dog from another position, go right ahead. And once you're in down dog, you want your wrists so far out in front of you that you feel no weight on them. So look at your wrists, look up at them. If you have a lot of wrinkles in your wrists, get your hands out further away, not closer to the feet. Let your head hang. Walk your dog by bending one knee a tiny bit, reaching the opposite heel to the floor. At any time in down dog, if your wrists or shoulders hurt, please come down to the floor. We can always do a private Zoom class to adjust your down dog. Down dog is not a beginner pose, it is an intermediate pose. Now the next time you have next time you can, press both heels to the floor and lift your hips high. Get as much weight off your wrists. Let your head hang. Take one more breath here and then bring your knees down to the floor, hips to heels, child's pose. You can put your arms by your side, palms up. You can have your arms out long in front of you. Make sure child's pose is comfortable. Make sure down dog is okay for you. Please let me know after class. We can work on it sometime and perfect your down dog. So we're going to come back into down dog, folks. Roll your toes under, please. Hips go low to the heels. If you can practice down dog from this position, the reason why is you will always keep weight off your wrists this way. This is a therapeutic style of coming into it. So you're going to tuck your chin, look at your knees, lift your knees off the mat, ribs and thighs stay together until the last second, and you're in down dog. Press both heels to the floor, lift your hips up high. You're going to look up between your hands and take a million tiny, teeny steps until you're in forward bend. Once you're at the front of your mat, your knees are bent, your hands are touching the floor, your ribs and thighs make solid contact. Shake your head. For my friends who are very flexible, you always keep your ribs and thighs together, but your legs could be straight. The second you lose contact with ribs and thighs, you can have your knees bent there. Everybody take a deep breath and let it go. Do it one more time and see if you can release more muscles and more vertebrae. Grab your elbows and hang like a rag doll. Move from side to side. See if you can loosen your back up even more. The more you practice this, you're going to notice my elbows are almost touching the floor. Pull your tummy in. Press back with your inner thighs. No tight asses. And then drop your hands gently to the floor. We're going to make sure the heels of your feet are opened out as wide as your pinky toes. Use your arms like wings. Come all the way up. Touch your hands over your head. Please interlock your hands to steeple pose. Lengthen tall. On your own exhale, tilt out to the right side. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the left side. Inhale, back up. And one more time to the right side. Hold it, keep breathing. Look under your left arm up to the ceiling if it feels good. Please look down to the floor if it feels better. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the left side. Press down with that right foot. Reach out with that right arm. Look down or up and please keep breathing. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, take your hands to the heart. With a deep breath in, bring your hands up. Touch your hands. Exhale, forward bend. Now we're going to come into modified head lifted. We're going to drop our hips. We're going to bend our knees. We're going to lift our collarbones. We're just slightly in this lightning bolt shape. We pull the tummy in. Let the arms hang. Spread your fingers wide. Take another breath here and exhale. Gently fold. We're going to do that 2 more times. Drop your hips, bend the knees, lift your collarbones, spread your fingers. Make the lightning bolt shape with your torso and your thighs. Pull the tummy in. Are you breathing? Press down with the blades of your feet. Exhale, gently fold. Last time. Drop your hips, bend the knees, lift your collarbones. Press down with the blades of the feet. Pull the tummy in and up. Tuck the chin slightly to take the overcurvature out of your neck. Spread your fingers. Now inhale, arms out wide. Pull your thumbs back, pinkies forward. Exhale, hands by your hips, jet plane wings. Keep breathing. Inhale, arms by your ear. Utkatasana, porta potty pose. Pull that tummy in. Press down with the blades of your feet. Touch your hands and come all the way to Samastitihi. With a deep breath in, bring your hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, any head lifted, modified or not. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to inhale, step back with your right foot to a high lunge. And then when you're ready, you're just going to stretch your back up to the ceiling like a cat, tuck your chin. And then on your own exhale, drop your right knee to the floor. Inhale, lift your arms up by your ear. Dragon pose, press the hips forward. Lift the arms up. Only look up if it feels good. Out if it's better. Maybe bring your hands into goal pose to take you into a deeper back bend. And on your own exhale, gently place the hands on each side of the left leg. On your own exhale, gently pull back that left leg and bow over it. It's a one-legged forward fold. Certainly you can have your knee bent or you can have the legs straight. Breathe there. Now the next pose is no longer a forward fold. It becomes a head lifted. Lift the sole of your left foot up. Shine the front of your foot to the front of the mat. Spread the toes out wide apart. Now we're going to press the left heel into the mat and isometrically draw it back to the hip. You feel that square your hips. Now instead of bowing to the leg, it's a head lifted. So your hands are going to come up on teacup fingers, claw the mat, reach them out long. Try to lift your collarbones up to pull and use your hands isometrically. Pull those hands back. Try to look up and over the top of your left toes. Spread the toes wide. This does not get easier, it only gets deeper. Keep breathing. Now bend that left knee. Relax your right toes in the back. Both hands come to the inside of your left foot. Please come down onto your elbows. Maybe you stay up on your hands. Maybe one elbow is fine, but we're keeping our left shoulder to our left knee to the shoulder and breathing, letting our right hip melt to the floor. Roll out on the left foot. Look at the bottom of your left foot. Let the knee open out to the side. Let your hips melt to the floor and breathe there. Now we're going to come up on our hands. We're going to roll your right toes under. Maybe you just want to bring your left knee back to meet your right knee. Maybe you can lift your right knee up and take yourself back into plank pose. Left leg back, plank or table. You're going to press back with your heels to the back of the room. Inner thighs up to the ceiling. Pull your tummy in and upward. You're looking at that spot between your thumbs so you can lengthen out through the crown of your head. Your high knee is not up. You're trying to be level with the floor. You can always have your knees down, remember. Now we're going to do the old-fashioned pose of up dog, not chaturanga. Just drop the hips to the floor. Thighs off the mat. Shoulders back and down. Take it to plank pose and then to take it to down dog. So if you make it a little smaller, it's just a tiny step forward. Adjust your hands. Hands are way far away from you. Hips reaching to the ceiling. Heels of both feet reaching to the floor. Head is hanging. Remember, you can be into child's pose or table pose. So we're going to take our left foot up to the ceiling. This is one-legged down dog. We lift the heel up to the ceiling. We point the toes to the floor. We press the right heel to the mat and we lift it up as high as we can. But we're squaring the hips. One more breath in down dog ekapada, one-legged down dog, and then set your left foot back on the floor. Walk your puppy, bend one knee, Bend the other one and walk it. Remember, child's pose is always great. Now press both heels to the floor, lift the hips high away from your feet. Now take your right leg up, point your heel to the ceiling, press the left heel to the floor. Reach up high. Now, if you're new, Sherry, you're going to have to come to the knee and walk it up. But if it feels good, we're going to take that right foot up to the front of your yoga mat, and you're coming into high lunge. Boy, that takes a while to get. And when you first start it, you don't think you'll ever get it. Now we're going to puff the back up to the ceiling, cat arching, and gently drop the left knee on the floor. Take a deep breath in and lift the arms all the way up. Press the hips forward, dragon pose. Look straight out in front of you, look up to the ceiling. What feels best to you? Float your hands down on the floor, take a deep breath. Exhale, pull back on that right leg. One-legged forward fold. Bow to that right leg. Pressing the right toes down, you get the front of the shin. And goodness gracious, if your hamstrings are screaming, the knee is slightly bent. Terry, you may want to bend that knee. Let your head hang. Now remember, this is a one-legged forward fold. The next one's head lifted. Lift the sole of your right foot up. Spread the toes wide. Press the heel down into the mat. Now you're going to isometrically draw it back to the hips and feel it square your hips. Keep that. Take your hands, claw the mat. Isometrically pull the hands back to your hips. Lengthen your heart towards your foot. Tuck your chin so you don't overcurve your neck. Breathe there. Ooh, nothing quite gets your hamstrings like this, huh, guys? One more breath. And then we're going to put the foot on the floor, bend your knee, relax your left foot in the back. Both hands come to the inside of your right foot. Do you want to stay on your hands? Do you want to come on one elbow? Maybe you've already melted down. Make sure that left leg is back, that there's no weight on the knee, but you're allowing the left hip to rest to the floor. Keep your right knee towards your right shoulders. Breathe there. Now roll out on the blade of your right foot. Look at the sole of your right foot. Let the right knee press out to the side. If you're up on your hands, you're just maybe pressing a little bit into it. Make sure you listen to your knees. Your knees tell you what you're going to do or not do, right? Now we're going to come all the way back up. Roll your left toes under behind you if you can. Lift the thigh off, the knee off the floor. We're going to take our right foot, step it back to plank. For goodness sakes, you can be on your knees and do all that. Elbows, soft spot is rotated forward. We're in plank pose. Nose points to the floor. Open the inner thighs up to the ceiling. Press back with the heels of your feet. Drop your hips to the floor, up dog. If you choose to chaturanga, go right ahead. Take it to plank, to down dog. Adjust your dog if you need to. It's a tiny step forward. Get your hips away from those wrists. Be broad across the back of your shoulders so your shoulders plug in. Let your head hang. You want to walk that puppy, go right ahead. Believe it or not, Sherry, this becomes a resting pose. Now, the right leg goes straight up to the ceiling. Reach the heel straight up. Some of you want to open your right hip up to the right side. Keep your arms straight. You can bend your right knee, point it up to the ceiling. If you want to go for it, look over your left shoulder at your right foot. Look over the top, not underneath. It takes you to a back bend that way. Kick the leg a couple of times, letting your head hang just because it feels silly. And then put your foot back on the mat. Walk it out to find symmetry and balance there. Remember, child's pose is always awesome too. Pressing both heels down, we're going to lift that left leg up. Open your hip up to the left side. Bend your knee up to the ceiling. Then if it feels Good, keeping your arms straight. Look over your right shoulder at your left foot. Let your head relax, kick the leg. Now look up between your hands, left foot to high lunge. Remember, you can walk it forward. Right foot comes to forward bend. Resting, huh? Shake your head a bit. Knees can be bent. Inhale to any old head lifted. Remember, the common denominator is a long back. You could be there or anywhere. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, use your arms like wings. Come all the way up. Exhale, float the hands down to your heart. Now, we're going to take our legs out nice and wide. Normally, I flow you into a little tougher, but everybody's happy. Sherry's a new friend to a flow class, so they're all going, yay, Sherry. She's taking it easy tonight. Turn the toes inward, heels outward. You take it out where it's comfortable. Yeah, it might be a little hard, but just make sure that you feel balanced. If you don't feel balanced, make sure you're somewhere where you can hold on to. So we're going to come into Warrior Two. We're going to take our arms, we're going to throw those thumbs back, pinkies forward. Get your arms level to the floor in 5-pointed star. Rotate the palms of your hands to the floor, spreading your fingers. Please turn your left toes to the short end of your yoga mat. Bend your left knee. So you're coming into Warrior Two. Now take a moment, look at your left knee. Do you see toes fringing just past the knee? If you do, then you're good. Get your head right back into the middle. You're opening your chest and your hips to the long end of your yoga mat. And I hope you do have a yoga mat. You need the grip. Relax through your shoulders. Be strong here. Pull the tummy in. Now we're going to revolve this pose. We're going to turn the palms of your hands up. You're going to drop your right hand down and lift that left hand up to the ceiling. Look up to the ceiling. If it feels good, look straight out. If it's better, keep that knee, that left knee bent over the ankle. And now we're going to come back into Warrior Two. We're going to come into side angle. Many different ways of side angle. So I'm going to show you one variation. The elbow is on your thigh, palm up. Bring the right arm by your ear, palm down. Variation on that is bringing the elbow off in a straight arm. You use the arm to the inner thigh to open your chest to the ceiling. The idea is that the back is on your left thigh someday, or your hand could be on the floor. We're going to inhale, come all the way back up into Warrior Two. We're going to straighten that left leg. You're going to reach out as far as you can. Drop the left hand behind your thigh, your knee, your shin. Maybe it goes to the floor. Right hand straight up to the ceiling. Look up in Trikonasana, triangle pose. One more deep breath. And then inhale back to triangle. We're going to come to 5-pointed star. So turn your toes inward, touch your hands right over your head, and melt your hands to the heart. Take a breath there. Now, 5-pointed star. Open your arms out, spread your fingers, turn your right toes to the short end of your yoga mat. Bend your right knee, look at the knee, make sure you see toes fringing past it, knee over ankle. Open your hips up, shoulders, hips open to the long end of your mat. You're reaching out evenly with both hands. So in other words, you're not too far out in the future, you're not way out in the past. You're right in the presence of now, being strong and pulling the tummy in, settling into the breath. Now let's revolve it. Palms up. Drop your left hand down. Reach up with that right hand. Keep the right knee bent. Revolved warrior. You're looking up if it's good, out if it's better. Now come into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Elbow on the thigh if you'd like to for side angle. Left arm by your ear. Maybe you come off your thigh and use that arm to ratchet. Maybe the hand goes to the floor. But get that left arm by your ear, palm down. Try to look under the arm to the palm of the hand. And then come all the way back up. Straighten that right leg. Triangle pose. Trikonasana. Sounds like something you get when you eat ham that's not cooked. Reach out as far as you can, and then you're going to drop that right hand behind your thigh, your knee, your shin. Maybe it goes to the floor. Don't force it. Look up that left arm if it feels good. Look down to the floor if it's better. Any triangle pose you'd like, kids. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Touch your hands over your head, turn your foot to the long end of the mat, and bring your hands down to the heart. Turn your heels in, step or hop it together. Now, we're going to be at the very front of our mat. We're going to play with Warrior 1. We're going to fly off into Warrior 3. So we want our hips always in alignment to the front of the mat. We do not want to tilt out to the side. We want to take that left foot straight back behind you as if we have two snow skis on. We never want our snow skis to touch. So we're bending our right knee so you see toes fringing past it. We're going to pull the thumbs back, pinkies forward, and come into Warrior 1. Breathe here. Now, we're going to interlace our hands. We're going to turn the palms up to the ceiling. We're going to bend at our right hip crease just a little bit and reach out from the heels of our hands, keeping the right knee bent, pressing that left foot down. Take one more breath. You're going to release the pose and step it together. We're going to Warrior 3 in a minute. Walk it out. Now let's go to the other side. You're going to take that right foot back as far as it goes. We're going to make sure that we have two snow skis that do not cross each other. We're going to bend that left knee to see toes just fringing past it. Throw the thumbs back, pinkies forward. Lift the arms up. Warrior 1. Breathe here. Make sure your hips are open, the back of your hips. You never want to pinch here. This is why people leave with sciatica after a flow class. Now we're going to interlace our hands, palms up. We bend at the left hip crease just a bit. Reach out from the heels of your hands. Press down with that right foot. Pull the tummy in. You don't have to lean far forward. This gets us ready for the poses. Then we're going to release it and let it go. Walk it out. So we're going to do Warrior 1 again, and then we're going to fly off into Warrior 3. So we're going to take our left foot back as far as it goes. We're going to bend our right knee, and we're going to bring our hands up. Warrior 1. Interlace your hands, pointer finger up. We're going to come into steeple pose, but just like we did before, we're bending at our right hip crease, bringing it out. Then we're going to get that left heel up, point the left foot towards the floor. Reach the hands out long. Maybe they're out holding a beach ball. Maybe they're by your hips. Warrior 3, kids. And then step that left foot down, hands to the heart. Walk it out. Let's get the other side. Bring that right foot way back behind you. Two snow skis that are not crossing. Our left knee bends. Pull the thumbs back, pinkies forward. Bring it up to Warrior 1. We're exalted warrior. We won the day, folks. It's a good day. Reach it up. Settle those shoulders into the socket. Interlace your hands. Pointer finger up. Steeple pose. We're going to bring our torso out just like we did a little while ago. We're going to fly that right heel up. Point the right toes to the floor. Reach out from your hands to your heel. Hands out wide. Maybe hands by your hips. And then step it down. Hands to the heart. Walk it out. So now we're going to take our hands all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to any head lifted. Exhale to forward bend. Now we're going to step or hop back into plank pose. So maybe you want to take a few steps back. Maybe you're able to just hop back into plank and then take it to down dog. Press the hips up to the ceiling, let your head hang. And then we're gonna look up between our hands and then bring the knees down to the floor. Hips to heels, give yourself a child's pose, reaching the arms out long. And then we're gonna inhale, we're gonna come back up. We're going to incorporate, sit down on your bottom. We're going to incorporate a yin pose in with a boat pose. So if you would like, get a pillow or a blanket underneath your hips. We are going to do shoelace pose. So if shoelace is not appropriate for you, it's double pigeon for you. So shoelace looks like this, where you have one knee on top of the other knee and it's crossed and you can set up tall. Double pigeon is where the ankle is on the thigh, not the knee, and you're going to set up. This is going to be a 2.5 minute pose, and I'm starting your clock now. So wherever you want to be, here or here, hopefully I got you warmed up so you can set right into it. I also like to come into this pose from the knees, and next time I play with you, we'll do that from down dog maybe. And so here we are in our shoelace or our double pigeon. I have started your clock. Don't worry, I'm not talking through your time. We're setting into our hips. And it doesn't matter which knee you have on top. Pay attention. Is it your right or your left knee? I don't need to know. You need to know. So we're pressing both hip bones to the floor. The knee that's on top, that hip wants to come up. We're going to try to press it down. If you're real cockeyed and you can't even, you can't even make the shape, that means you need more props under your hips. If crossing the knee over, maybe you're going right here. Please listen to your pose. We're setting up, we're breathing into that hip, and we're letting the hips melt to the floor. Please just take a few more breaths. We're really almost done. We're more than halfway done with it. Let that hip settle. If you're not feeling anything, maybe Bethany's not feeling anything, press both hips to the floor and allow yourself to bow over it until you feel it. You do not want any feet underneath your hips. You want to melt into it. Maybe you're setting up going, holy cow, I can't hold this for 2.5 minutes. You're almost complete with the pose. Stay with your breath, folks. I'm building you up for the 5-minute pose. We're almost there. Try to press that hip down. Now you're going to forget completely. So please pay attention. What knee is on top? Please try to press that hip down. As we're in this, you should notice it's changing and softening, releasing a little bit more. Just a couple more breaths. We're almost there, folks. Good, we're there. So what you're going to do, you're going to lift up your top knee, your top leg, whether it be pigeon pose or shoelace. You're going to pick it up. You're going to rock it just a little bit. Keep the other knee bent and set that foot in front of the other shin, and you're going to bend the knee and set up tall. This is going to be a half boat pose. I love this practice because it really helps us align boat pose. So if you're sitting on a pillow or a blanket, that's okay. You're going to take your foot in each hand. And if you're having a knee issue, take the leg out. It's certainly okay. But you can take that top leg, that same leg you had on top. You can hold on to the foot, and remember the knee could be bent. Try to get it straight. You're trying to get the alignment of your shin and your big toe together by tucking your chin, lengthening out, and breathing. Now, if you can handle it, we're going to cross our wrists. We're going to take that left hand to the outside, or the opposite hand to the outside of your foot, and cross your wrist. Now, of course, the knee can be bent. Now, the reason why we want to do this is we're going to twist. So we're going to take that hand, the top hand, the leg that you have, the same hand, same leg. You're going to twist and bring that hand to the floor, open out, and look over that back shoulder, stretching that leg, or your knee is bent. And then you're going to come back to boat, release the leg, get both legs out, drop your knees from side to side. So now we're going to go to the other side. We're going to get the leg that we had on top is now on the bottom. If you're doing a shoelace, remember, your knees are crossed over. If you're doing double pigeon, the ankle and knees are in alignment. Doesn't matter which one. I did start your clock. Both hips are on the floor or on a nice big pillow or blanket. We're trying to press both hip bones to the floor and breathe there. We're either bowing over the legs or we're setting up tall. What feels best to you? Breathe into that hip. Let the hips relax and open. Setting up tall, leaning forward. You don't have to pay attention to what knee is on top, but notice how different it feels on this side. Try to allow that hip to soften and release. See if you're holding anything tight. As you sit here in the pose, you should start to feel it deepen. You should feel your hips reacting a little bit differently, maybe peeling and opening. Stay with your breath. Remember, you can come out anytime. That's the beauty of the yin poses. Leaning forward, setting up tall, pressing the hip down. Stay with your breath. We're more than halfway done. We're on our last few moments of the pose. Some of you, this is very easy. It's easy if leaning over and it's really easy and pressing the hips down. Try laying back. That's a whole new dimension too. Last few breaths, folks. Now, no matter what pose you have, double pigeon or shoelace pose, you're going to take that top leg, rock it a little bit, set the foot in front of the bottom shin, set up, get your symmetry there. You're going to grab both sides of your foot. Maybe you're right here. Maybe you can send your heel out, trying to get your chin and big toe in alignment, but tuck the chin. Pull the shoulder blades back. If you want to continue and go deeper, grab the outsides of each foot. You can have the knee bent. Now the same hand, same leg, that hand's going to release. You're going to reach it out and set it down onto the floor and twist in your half boat pose. Take another breath if you've gotten the pose, and then you're going to bring that hand back, cross your wrist. If you want to, maybe you're organic to it and kiss your knee. And then if you want, just release your leg, bring it down, take both legs out. Work your ankles around. Go one way, go the other way. So we're going to come into full boat pose. So you can sit up on a blanket if you've ever broken your tailbone. I do recommend you sit on a blanket. Once you come onto a blanket or you're on the mat, you're going to have your knees bent. We're going to measure it off. We're going to pull the shoulders back and down, spread your fingers, pull your tummy in. This may be where you're at. Maybe you're an anchored boat. Maybe you're full boat. Breathe there. Press through the heels of your feet. If you're able to. Some of you can grab your big toe. This is crane pose. You push your thumbs into your toenails. Press the heels of your feet out. Breathe. Now, we're going to take the legs out wide. This requires a little bit of balance. Pull your tummy in. Hands reach over your legs and you balance here. If you weeble back, just laugh. It's all fun. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Bounce your knees a little bit. Give yourself a bow to release the pose. And then we're going to lift all the way back up. Now, I like to play with pigeon pose coming into it in very different ways. This is a different way than we normally do. Let your right leg rest in front of you. Lean over to the right side. If you have something under your hips, pull it out and stretch your left leg back behind you. You're going to have to come up on top of that left knee and thigh and roll your left toes under. Lift the entire leg off the floor and press your right hip into the ground, relaxing the left toes. You can put a blanket underneath your hips, and we're going to settle our elbows down to the floor and allow ourselves to melt into pigeon pose. I've set your clock, don't worry, breathe here. Remember, if you're not feeling this enough, that means your right knee needs to get pushed out to the right side a little more, wider than your hip. This here, your foot, is the lever for pain, so maybe the foot needs to come down more. You're not feeling it enough, maybe it needs to come up higher. Maybe you want pillows underneath your elbows so that you bring the floor up to you, but we're all trying to press our left hip towards our right heel. We're trying to evenly press our right hip down to the floor. We can stack our arms and say a prayer and just breathe into the hip, letting that right hip melt to the floor, left hip rest to the right heel. Allow your whole body to release. Breathe into your lower back and your hips. You're not trying to press your right hip down solidly down further than your left. You're trying to let your right and left hip open and melt to the floor evenly, allowing the sacrum, the lower back, your hips to peel away and open. So breathe into it. Even though you feel it in your knee, make sure your knee is safe. Adjust the knee anyway so that it's comfortable. But you're going to feel it deep in your hip flexors. You're going to feel it in your piriformis. You might feel it in your groin as well. That's perfectly fine. Because we're here for quite a while, you're going to maybe feel your nervous system maybe sparkling or feeling like your leg is falling asleep. That's normal. That's okay. Just go with it. Breathe there. Let yourself relax. And now that you've settled into it now for a moment or so, see if you can really focus on the breathing. Feeling the body fill and expand your back ribs, your side ribs. And when you exhale, gently draw your belly into the spine, draw it up to the heart, allowing the hip to soften and open. Melt into it. Let your whole body release into it. Stay with your breathing. Some of you want to enhance the stretch. You want to enhance the stretch, you can reach out long and just really melt to the center. Maybe you want to just walk your upper body a little bit to the left and melt to the left, still pressing that right hip down. It may enhance it. Allow your body to relax. Let that right hip open. Settle into it and let it stretch. This pose will completely change how you walk. Practicing this pose will totally change how you walk and you stand. It's one of the best poses for everyone's hip. All of you here have done the modified version one, so I trust that if this is not appropriate for you, that all of you are in the modified version. We're more than halfway complete with the pose, kids. This is the difficult part about yin. You wouldn't hold it for those long moments if you weren't timed and weren't kind of encouraged to hold it. I'm not forcing you. Remember, I'm not forcing you. You come in and out of the pose as you want. Please don't be stagnant with your neck and shoulders. I always like to walk my elbows over to the right side as well, and maybe look over the right shoulder and stretching and kind of twisting into the left lower back and hip. But my left hip is still trying to find that right heel. It all just stretches all into that area differently. Please do not keep your upper body, your neck and shoulders stagnant in any yin pose. You want to make sure that they're free and relaxed. Again, we're on our last few moments of the pose, folks. We're almost done. I'm not lying to you. It's okay. Now, most of us are used to coming onto the knees. I know you're used to that, but let's do it a different way. Let's put our hands underneath of us. Lift yourself up. Take anything out from underneath that right hip and lean back onto the right side. Pull the right foot towards your groin. You're going to grab that left leg and pull it forward. Once it comes forward, have both knees bent. Both knees are wide. Both feet are way out. And you're going to rock both knees down to each side. So not only are you twisting in the hip, you're getting a little twist in the waist too. From side to side, drop both knees down. Don't hold one knee up, both knees down. And then bring both knees up and just one knee down at a time. Just for a moment on each side. Before we do the other side, take the legs out in front of you, work your ankles one way, flex and point them. Please take your feet into butterfly pose, bounce your knees a little bit, press your thigh bones down, lift your collarbones up, give yourself a little bow, use your elbows in your front of your shins or the inner thigh, stretch your back for a moment, pull yourself down, let your head go, and then gently lift up. Let's get to the other side, kids. So we're going to put that left shin in front of you. You're going to stretch your right leg back behind you. If you need to, get your blanket for the left hip. You're going to roll your right toes under, lift your right thigh off the floor, press back so you can get that left hip down. Relax your right toes. If you have a space between your hip and the floor, you get the blanket underneath you. You're going to settle your elbows down. Breathe here. Allow that hip to open and melt. Feels so different on each side. So if you need it a little deeper and it's not, look at your knee. Is it out wider than your hip? If not, push it out to the left side. Remember, your left shin is your lever for pain. If you need it to come up higher, more pain. If you need it less pain, it comes down lower. Your right hip is trying to melt down to your left heel. And as you're adjusting and fidgeting into this side, going, holy cow, this is easier my easy side, or this is, oh my God, this is my worst side. Doesn't matter. Allow the whole body to relax and melt. This is not the same side. They act completely different. They're like two different children from the same family. They are so different. They're going to behave different. You have to treat them differently. So if you need to modify this naughty child, go right ahead. If this is your favorite hip, Settle into it. But we're going to go back into the breathing now that you've noticed the difference from right and left side. You're going to breathe out as big and deep and wide as you can. On the exhale, pull the tummy in and upward. Letting your whole body release and melt. Allowing that left hip to melt to the floor or to the yoga prop. Allowing that right hip to melt to the left heel. Remember, you know who you are if you want to take it a little deeper. Maybe you move your upper body to the right side a little bit and melt. The hips stay in the same spot. Your left hip is still planting towards the prop or the floor. The right hip is still towards the heel. You're just getting a little different stretch in the piriformis here. Listen to the body. Notice your nervous system. You're more than halfway complete with the pose, kids. We've made it. And I guarantee you, I know I won't do this pose unless I'm timing it. You're in it for 1 minute and you go, oh, that's got to be time. I got to do. No, you just don't get the benefits unless you stay there for 5 minutes. Unless somebody's actually sets that timer, unless you do it or somebody else sets that timer and you stay there. And believe it or not, if you do this year after year, every week, you may want to go, instead of 5 minutes, I want to do this for 10 minutes. It does happen. But you're going to notice your hips changing in a very positive way the more you practice this pose. There's so many benefits to it. Maybe some of you want to walk your elbows to the left side, maybe do a little twisty to the left and look over the left shoulder and kind of press that right hip a little further. Please make sure you're comfortable. The beauty of yin is you can come out of it and come back into it. There's no forcing in any of the yin poses at all. You only take them to where they need to go. Whether you practice intense Hatha poses or you work out hard at a gym or only do gentle yoga, everyone needs yin. We're working in the connective tissue from bone to tissue, and this is where we truly find deep flexibility. Flexibility that when you wake up, you're flexible, that you don't have to warm up, that you naturally are open all the time. We hit our 5-minute mark, folks. So we're going to lift ourselves back up. We're going to grab that foot, pull it inward. We're going to pull that other leg all the way up. Once you do, you're going to rock your knees gently from side to side. Knees are wide apart, feet are wide apart. You want to work into that sacrum there. Bring the knees up, only one knee in. Press the other knee slightly inward. Pick that knee up and go to the other side. We want to open that sacrum up. Get that movement there. Take your legs out, work your ankles around. So we're going to come down and peel off. We're going to come up once and we're going to come down twice. So peel off, I've heard, could possibly replace 25 setups. I don't know, but it's amazing how strong it makes your core. So you're going to turn your toes up to the ceiling. Spread the toes out wide. Pull back on the pinky toe towards the knee. Maybe adjust the abundance out from your hips. So we're going to start with our arms straight up. Reach up like you're in this L shape. Pull the tummy in. Now we're going to drop our arms so they're parallel to the floor, and we're spreading our fingers. We're going to tuck our chin. So like if somebody had our middle section and they're pulling us back in the middle section, tuck your chin. You're going to tuck your tailbone underneath you. so you feel the sacrum release to the floor. This is hard. Maybe you pop right down. Maybe you can get your lumbar down to the floor. Round it. Maybe it's the thoracic spine, then the shoulders. Keep your chin tucked in until it's the last, head is the last thing that goes down. Reach your arms out over your head. Point your toes, please. Hollow body. Now bring the arms down by your side. Palms point towards your body. Spread your fingers. Turn the toes up. Rest through the heels of your feet. Pull your tummy in and tuck your chin and look at your toes. Do you feel your tailbone change? Now you're going to lift your shoulders off the floor, your upper back, the lumbar. Slowly come up until you're back to where we started. And we're going to reach our arms all the way up, lengthen tall. We're going to take 3 exhales and come forward to our feet. Take a breath. Exhale, come down a little bit. Inhale, reach out a little further. Exhale, come down a little more. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, come into forward fold. Your knees can be bent. You could grab your feet, whatever. Legs could be straight, but our tummy and thighs are together. Let your head go. Please take 3 deep breaths in your forward bend. Knees can be bent or straight. Listen to your hamstrings, kids. Now, after your 3rd breath, you're going to look at your toes. Turn the toes up, reach the arms out, tuck your chin just like we did. Just like we did a moment ago. Roll the tailbone underneath you. Roll your sacrum down onto the floor. Your lumbar, your thoracic spine, your shoulders. Then reach, the head goes on the floor, reach the arms out, point your toes, hollow body. And then you're going to hug both knees into your chest, round your back, nose to bent knees. Put your hands down onto the floor, your head on the mat. Send the heels of your feet to the ceiling in L. Spread your toes, press up to the heels of your feet to the ceiling. Some of you, this is your inversion pose. Others of you, if you're able to, pressing down with your hands, bring your feet over your head to plow pose. Chin is lifted. Do not tuck your chin. Do not look around. We're all going to release our pose, whether it be L or plow. We're going to lower your upper back down, your middle back if you're in plow, your hips. You go to the L. You bend your knees. We're all going to bend our knees. Bring our nose to our bent knees. Round your back. Tuck your chin. And let your arms relax down. And take both knees around like you're drawing a circle on the ceiling with both of your knees. Go one way. Go the other. If you have a pillow, throw that pillow underneath your legs. We're going to have Shavasana in a moment. Separate your knees. Get the circles in your hips. Go one way. Go the other way. And then reach your hands between your legs. Rock yourself from side to side. Stretch your legs out if it feels good. And then we're all going to meet each other, letting our legs go out over our yoga mats or over our pillows, letting the feet flop out. Let your arms rest out with the palms of your hands turned up. Your eyes are closed. Take a deep breath in. Let it out with a great big sigh. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath for a moment. Sip a little more breath in. Now blow it out hard. Take a deep breath in and let it out with Let's get the delicious sound. Take a deep breath in. Let it out with Let's try it again. Take a breath in. One more delicious sound. Notice that vibration left on your lips. Let that vibration reverberate through the entire body. Imagine every cell of your body is able to open up and savor that delicious sensation. Find the sound of your own breath. Hear your breath at the back of your throat. Hear the sound of your breath deepening as it takes on the quality of a wave, a cleansing, purifying wave. Let that wave flow from head to toe. Feel the wave flow from fingertip to fingertip. Allow it to flow from skin to bone. Notice how each breath can soothe your body. Notice each breath can relax. Feel it release the whole mind. Observe that tiny spot between your eyes. Allow it to unfold. Feel that spot between your eyes become spacious. Allowing the forehead and the scalp to simply melt away. Allowing those waves of relaxation to flow deep into the face. Your eyes soften. Cheeks relax. Let the jaws unhinge. It's safe to let your chin hang heavy. As every fiber in your neck softens, releases, even the ears melt further down. As you breathe deeply into the fronts of your shoulders, notice even the backs of your shoulders have melted away. Encouraging those waves of relaxation to flow deep into your arms, soothing your hands as it flows to the fingers. As each breath expands your ribs just a bit more, notice the gentle flow of your breath. Let it release each vertebra gently into the mat. As you breathe deeply into the fronts of your hips, allowing the backs of your hips to gently melt away. Feeling those waves of relaxation flowing deep into your thighs. Soothing your knees as it flows deep into your calves and down to each one of your feet. Follow that flow from head to toe, fingertip to fingertip, skin to bone. Let each breath soothe your body. Let each breath relax. Notice it releasing the whole mind. Bring your awareness to the sounds in the room. Hear the sounds in your home. Start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your ankles, wiggle your wrists. Take a nice deep breath in with any extra stretch you'd like. Please bring yourself back to the body more fully, more completely. Take your time, drawing your knees up, rolling to the right side if it's good, roll to the left side if it feels better. Stay on your side for just a moment till you come back to the room just a bit more fully. When you're ready, come all the way up to any old seated position you'd like. Let's stretch our necks before we go to make sure you're all okay. Set up any way you want on a pillow with your legs out, legs crossed, maybe set on a chair. Roll your shoulders a few times. Let your shoulders rest. Drop your right ear towards the right shoulder. Take your left hand out on the floor, move it back just enough. Open your eyes. Please look out the left side of your eye up to the ceiling. Lift your chin with the gaze. Take a breath. Slow and gentle. Rotate your nose. Look down at your right knee. Let your head hang. Take a deep breath. Little yeses with your chin. And then bring your left hand to the knee, tuck the chin into the chest, little nose. Bring both shoulders to your ears, lift your head up, relax the shoulders back and down. Setting up tall, drop your left ear towards the shoulder. Right hand goes out on the floor, move it back just enough. Open your eyes, look out the right side of your eye up to the ceiling, lift your chin with the gaze. Take a deep breath. Slow and gentle. Rotate your nose. Look down at your left knee. Let your head hang. Take a breath. Yeses with the chin. And then bring the hand to the knee. Tuck the chin into the chest. Little nose. Shoulders come up to your ears. Lift your head up. Shoulders back and down. Bring your hands together. Thumbs against your heart. If you choose to Om tonight, close your eyes. Invite a deep breath in. Namaste.